Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Joris and this is QB's Barbecue and Bakery. The last few videos I've made were all about the bakery neck and complex accessories or rotisserie on the kettle or the slow and sear, but then I thought not everybody has those kinds of accessories. Mostly I'll just have a simple Weber kettle. No accessories, just the standard kettle. So that got me thinking, let's do a video with simple barbecue. Just the basics of the kettle. No accessories, no slow and sear, no rotisserie, not even a pit probe temperature, just the kettle. And I'm gonna use meat that you can buy at the grocery store or the supermarket, just standard. I'm also not gonna use any special rubs, just the standard ingredients you might have in your kitchen available. And my challenge for you guys today is I'm gonna make delicious chicken of the Weber kettle with everyday ingredients. Follow me. So how do we set up our Weber kettle with just the basics? Well, not all of you guys have the charcoal baskets that come with these modern Weber kettles. You might even have the racks that come with the older models. I'm not going to use any of those. The only thing that I'm going to use today is the chimney starter. That's a safety thing for me. I don't want to use lighter fuel. I just want to use a safe method of igniting my coals. In this case, we're going to use briquettes. They give me lots more control. So let me show you how I put these in a Weber kettle. What you're about to see is called a minion method. So let me show you how I set up the kettle with just the basics. So over here, I've put unlit charcoal, some bit old and briquettes, older briquettes and some leftover charcoal. I filled a chimney starter, a small chimney starter with some briquettes. And we're gonna light these two tumbleweeds. And all I'm gonna do is set this over this. Now we're gonna let that catch fire, and as soon as that's hot, we're gonna dump that over our coals and our briquettes here, and that's gonna burn down quite slowly. Next up, I'll show you my vent settings below. So when you don't have a thermometer or any other device to measure how much airflow or how much temperature you have in your kettle, I recommend you to take just an average marker, a waterproof marker, and put down some markings here on the bottom side of your kettle. Now, these markings here, they represent the opening of the vent settings below. So this one here, this setting here, means it's fully open. See the marker here. Now all the way here means fully closed. In the middle, it's half open, and these are the finer dial settings to tune in low and slow temperatures. Like this is a quarter open, this is 1/8 open, and this is a slither open for minimum airflow. So what I'm gonna do now is, because we don't want to overshoot our temperatures, I'm gonna set this for half open. And then I'll show you our top settings later when we put the chicken on. So as you can see, my briquettes are ashed over and flaming hot. So it's time to dunk that over the unlit briquettes and charcoal. Yes, there we go. Let's put that out of the way. Now, because I assume not everybody has aluminum baskets or aluminum whatever, so I'm using just aluminum foil to make sure that this catches the drippings of our chicken. So this is the basic setup for using your Weber kettle when you want to make chicken using the minion method. So we put our grill grates in. Now when we close the lid, they always say, you know, put your air vents on the opposite side of your heat source. But what does that do? The heat goes directly out. So my recommendation is just move it sideways. So you have heat across the dome exiting here, and you can now sort of use the temperature measurement from your kettle dome. Now it's not going to be accurate, but it's going to give you some form of indication of how hot it is. Now remember, we put the bottom vents half open. We're going to let the top ones fully open until we reach about 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so got my setup here, Weber kettle here, ingredients here. Now that I'm seeing it, I see the dome temperature has reached 150, 160 degrees Celsius, just over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to close the top vents for the half. So we're going to restrict the airflow a little bit while we prep our chicken. Now this is regular store-bought free-range chicken from in Holland here. This is from the Albert Heijn. It's quite simple. Anybody can buy it. Just going to open that out of the packaging. Try to buy free-range whenever you can. It's a healthier product. I prefer it than you know, these factory chickens. They don't taste as good, and you know, when you do buy it, you help the environment a little bit. So how do we prep this? Now there's a couple of ways you can put the chicken on the Weber kettle. You can do it just like this as it is. However, I like to do it differently. I like to prep my chicken by removing these wingtips. They don't have any purpose other than burning. So just take your pair of kitchen scissors, just trim them off. It's quite easy. Just find the knuckle and squeeze. There we go. And I'm gonna do a method called spatchcocking, or as my little girl likes to call it, flat chicken. You put the chicken on the breast, expose here the backbone. Now basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut on either side of the spine here. So take your scissors, move it up the butt of the chicken, and then just snap the bones with your scissor. You'll get that nice crunchy sound. There you go. You open up the chicken. I'm always going to take out this big chunk of fat here. That's not going to be nice. Trim it up, and then we're going to do the same on the other side here. Just make sure you hold that tight, and then trim the back side. There we go. This is your spine. So every video I close, you hear me say, fail fast, learn fast, just keep grilling, right? Well, that kind of applied to me now as well. The next two clips, the audio is missing. So bear with me, you're gonna hear my voiceover talk you through the process of seasoning the chicken and buttering it up. Right, voiceover part. So as I was explaining, that's the spine that we took out. And now we're gonna flip the chicken on the other side, open it up a bit, but you'll see that it's not completely flat yet. So what I normally do is I take my hands, put them underneath the breast, put my thumbs across, and then you hear a pop, and then you break the sort of the wishbone, and now you got a nice flat chicken to start the seasoning process. So now it's time to season our chicken. Now I've got here about 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and to that we're going to add some granulated garlic, just grind it up, store-bought. Then we're going to add some ground black pepper, just a few twists, gives it some kick. Then we're going to add onion powder, just eyeball it to whatever you like. Then our smoked paprika powder. This is going to give it some color. Last but not least, salt. and I use fleur de sel, which is a coarse sea salt. And then finally, just mix it all up. Make sure that you get all the butter and the spices well mixed. So now we're going to put the butter onto the chicken. So how do we get that butter onto this chicken? I usually put the butter underneath the skin, and I do that by taking a finger and just poking between the skin and the meat. And I try to make a little start with a finger, just careful not to tear the skin. Once I have a start, I take my spoon and then I bring my spoon underneath the breast and slowly work my spoon across to separate the skin from the breast. Then we'll do the same with the thigh. Make sure we don't puncture or tear the skin. What we want to do is create some nice pockets. Now we're going to take our butter. Just take a lump of butter, put it underneath the skin with your thumbs, and then work it all the way up to the front of the breast. Massage it in. Make sure you spread that out underneath the skin of the breast. Then we're going to do the same on the thigh, and make sure that you spread it. Of course, you're going to do this on both sides, both breasts and both thighs. Just massage it along to make sure that you've got all the butter covered. Last but not least, I like to put the butter on the skin. I like to smear it across. It's optional, helps with the caramelization, gives it some brown color, but it's optional. So our kettle's up to temperature. On the dome it says about 180 degrees, which is exactly where we want to be on this side of our briquettes. We got our chicken all ready and buttered up. So let's put that on the kettle. And I always want to make sure that I put the breast side towards the fire. And when it's time, we're going to rotate about 30 minutes in to make sure that we get a bit of an even cook of the meat facing the briquettes. So let's give that 30 minutes. So we're 30 minutes into this cook. Our kettle is just under 200 degrees on this side, which is roughly the side where the chicken is. We're still halfway open, so if you listen, you hit the fat drippings. So let's see what our chicken looked like. Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's turn it around and get some color on the other side. Wow, that's really juicy and hot. And let's give that another 30 minutes. So it's been about an hour since we put our chicken on. About 30 minutes ago, we switched the chicken around. Kettle is still holding 200 degrees Celsius, which is about close to 380, 390 degrees Fahrenheit. Vent settings haven't changed. The bottom's still half open. This is about half open as well. So let's take a look at our chicken, because usually these birds take about an hour to cook. But let's find out. So let's get that chicken off. That's looking really good there. Oh, that's all the fat drippings. There we go. Look at that color. And let me see if I can zoom you guys in a bit. That looks beautiful, right? So time to carve in and have a taste. So what I normally do is I put the chicken down and I look for the thigh. So just here, try to separate it. Oh, that comes off so easily. Just, it's done. It's pull apart done. Wow. So let's separate the drumstick from the thigh. There we go. Just look at that. That is seriously done. That looks beautiful. It's gonna be hot. This one is also gonna be hot. Oh, this is beautiful. Just a beautiful thigh. So let's carve it a bit and have a taste. Oh, yeah. Wow. Buttery, salty. Definitely taste the garlic. Woo. Brilliant. Yeah, God, I love it. So there you have it. Simple, no bullshit chicken on a Weber kettle, no accessories. I'm confident you guys can make this yourself. Thanks for viewing with me. And if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you've seen this and you haven't been a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to get to the 1,000 subscribers anytime soon. Until next time, guys, remember, fail fast, learn fast, just keep grilling.